awesome. There we go. There we go. Rick Stowe-Jack in San Diego playing the drums for us. That was awesome. Everybody, welcome to Deck. We are here on Connection today with a very special guest, the big bad Chris Brady from Aquarian Drumheads, right there. Yeah. Today is the Deck Day pregame show with Chris. We're going to be talking about that. We're excited about that. This weekend is Deck Day. We're going to be getting into that here in a few minutes. But before we do that, we're going to do what we do every week, and we're going to throw it around the room here. And good things is something that you got going on that is drumming wise or not drumming wise. In Jeremy's case, could be golf wise. You know, anything that you got good going on in your life. So I'm going to throw it to Jeremy first, since I just mentioned him. So Jeremy, what you got going on, bud?
Things, you know what? Things are pretty good right now in my little bubble. Got a lot of very, very busy gig schedule in the next couple of months. Got a recording session coming up in August with my son. We're going to record his album of all original music. Super excited about that. Awesome. And yeah, you know, that's kind of it, man.
Piano? He's a piano player, right?
Yes, he's a piano player. I actually was thinking, I was like wishing that I could get him out to Deck Day so we could play together at Deck Day and talk about comping and jazz.
Oh, that'd be cool. We have a piano here.
I know. So this was like a little fantasy, but then, you know, the reality of paying for his plane ticket to come out to California hit, and it wasn't going to happen. But someday.
Phenomenal piano player.
He's a monster.
Piano.
Yeah,
that would have been really cool.
I know. It would have been super fun. He would have loved it too. Yeah, maybe some other day we'll figure that out.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That would really be cool.
Deck Day 2027.
Hey, we're already planning on it. I already got matter of fact, I already got my clinic idea for 2027.
It's like all these trade shows you do. They're literally the day after they're over, you're getting emails. Hey, blah, 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 2027, book your booth now. It's like, it just finished yesterday. What?
I still got all the crap in my car, man.
Yeah, we haven't even unloaded yet. It's already nuts.
That's great. Rick, what do you got going on that's good, dude?
You know
what? Positive energy hand grenade.
I've got technology, man. I have wireless headset and headphones set up now.
Nice.
X Vive or X5. Yeah, and it was like less than $250, and now I can be wireless on the show and clinics. And so this is the first time I'm using the headset wireless or the microphone wireless. So man, it's freedom. I love it. And it was without getting a big outboard piece and big antennas and all that. And so I feel
very cool.
I feel freedom. I'm not so wired up now.
You're untethered.
Yeah. Beautiful.
You know,
and we just thought you were unhinged, but now you're untethered.
Now he's both. Exactly. Chip, what do you got going on, buddy?
Oh man, I just last week my good friend Dan Lynch he's the key grip on the TV show NCIS. And he's been with the show for as long as the show's been on, 20-some seasons. Wow. And he's a drummer, and he doesn't really get much time because his work day is like 18 hours a day. So he's got a lockout that he gets to every now and then sneak out and play his drums. So he came out here on his break, and we spent about a week where I'm blessed to where I'm able to teach in a student center building, and I have the keys to the building, so it's like 24/7 access. And we played morning, noon, and night. We got together and jammed every day that he was out here. And I just had a blast with him. And, you know, it was great. And we learned stuff from each other. And we spoke Drumheads. It was cool, man. We had a great time. So that's my good thing.
Nice.
That's awesome, man.
Awesome.
Oh,
is McGee still on that show?
What's that?
The character McGee, is he still on that show? I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
I almost forgot. I have to do a second good thing. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I had this past weekend my annual student drum recital and it was awesome. Yeah, I had like 20 students all playing for backing tracks at this venue, and they all killed it. It was awesome. You guys, I'm going to send you Tien's video. She did this crazy double bass thing. This adult student of mine who just started it. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, dude, that's killer, man.
Yes.
That's
Really fun.
so cool. That's so cool. Chris, what do you got going on that's good, buddy?
This is kind of like you guys were probably all similar age. This is kind of, remember that show Wonderama?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember they go around there with the little kids? Tell us the good news. What good news do you have today? This is like
yeah.
Wonderama.
It is Wonderama. That's what we modeled this after. This is what we modeled it after, Chris.
I tell you what, the good thing that's going on for me is I'm looking forward to this Saturday, Deck Day. With the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic. It's the Fab Five now.
It's the Fab Five.
Yeah.
What
Or in my
you're
case,
looking for, Chris?
Yeah. Well, real quick, that's my good thing too. I'm really looking forward to Deck Day. We're gonna have a good time. We got some friends coming out. It's gonna be wonderful. Every time we do Deck Day, it's just a great hang, you know, and a lot of work goes into it on all four of our parts. So it's definitely it's a lot of fun though. It's a labor of love. It's a great thing. It's really cool that it's grown into this. And then the second good thing is we've been on the road so much this year, man. We've been coast to coast already. We got a great local show coming up on May 1st at the Coach House. We haven't played there in a while, and the Coach House is kind of a legendary concert venue here in Southern California. So it's going to be Friday, May 1st, and we're almost sold out. So I'm really stoked about that. That's
Congrats.
my good thing. Yeah, Deck Day and Coach House, man. Ooh. So Deck Day. Deck Day is kind of this thing that is, if you don't know what it is, you're watching this video on YouTube in the past or whatever. Deck Day is our live in-person 4 drum clinic event that we do every year. We've done 4 of them so far. Well, this will be our 4th one. This will be our 3rd one at Aquarian Drumheads. The one common endorsement that all 4 of us share is Aquarian. And Aquarian has been so gracious to us individually over the years. And as Drummers Education Connection, they were the first company to come on board as an official sponsor. And they've let us host it there every year. And they give really great perks, right? And we'll be talking about some of those perks that can happen if you show up to Deck Day. Incidentally, we still have tickets available. drummersedcon.com is our website. Click on events. You can buy tickets there. They're available all week. If you got any questions, Jeremy's email's on there. You can email him. So anyway, Chris, first of all, thank you for letting us host Deck Day there. It's always a great time. Thank you so much to you and Mike and everybody.
You are certainly welcome, and we have fun. You guys are all great guys and wonderful players, and you've built a really cool community, and you can see that the support from your students is amazing. And you have a great student base, and they're lucky they have a great education network to tap into, a great bunch of teachers with you 4 guys. So it's good all around. It's really neat to see that sort of, I don't know, the camaraderie and the support. Because some of these students, it's amazing. They're traveling quite far distances, hopping on planes in many instances, and it's just really, it's good to see that level of commitment.
Yeah,
they just want to be there to meet you. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what my hard sell is on the tickets. I'm like, I go in for the full used car salesman, and then I'm like, and on Chris Brady's desk there's a thing of chocolates.
Mm-hmm.
I actually I filled that up too. Just
good.
I
Good.
Those little treats.
You know, one of the things that's really cool. Chris and I had this conversation last year, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. He goes, you know, it's really cool to see this because you know, to paraphrase what you said, Chris, you know, I go to clinics all the time, and all of your guys' students support it, but also your endorsers support it. We've got some great prizes that we're giving away from Gretsch, from Audix microphones, Pisces cymbals, Sabian cymbals. All these companies are supporting it. But this is the part I'd be remiss in. I mean, Aquarian's really supporting it. You guys really, really, really step up to bat. And we got some stuff that talk about some of the specials that are going on. Because we got some stuff that we're giving away from Aquarian, but then there's also a special deal people can get on heads the day of the event.
What's really cool for your students is because of the support from all your companies that you just mentioned. As I recall last year, especially, but I think the other years too, every student walks out with a goodie bag with some, there's nothing wrong with stickers. Stickers are great. We love them. But with some drumhead sticks, cool key ring. I mean, there's some, earplugs, whatever it is. There's some really cool, tangible products that each student is coming away with. Somebody walks out of here with something cool. Last year was your young student, that kid. He won the Gretsch snare drum on top of it.
Yeah.
So every student that's coming here is most likely going to walk out with some cool stuff.
No, most definitely. I mean, just to be clear, we have goodie bags that some of our companies have sponsored drum gear to give away, including Aquarian. Snare Weight is giving a snare weight dampener. It's like a $25 piece of equipment. Vic Firth is giving a pair of sticks. That's just what you get for walking in the door. And then on top of that, we have all these stuff that's donated from our drum sponsor companies that we raffle off. So these are sort of like even more valuable prizes.
That's extra. Well, yeah. I remember going to clinics back in the day.
Yeah.
Remember clinics back in the day, maybe 50 to 100 people, and there'd be a few T-shirts, and then maybe 2 prizes. And that had, it was definitely a lucky lottery raffle kind of thing. And of course, I'm one of those guys that never won. They read off the ticket, and somebody next to you won this cool ride cymbal or a snare drum. But the thing that you guys put together, people are walking out. Everybody walks out with something cool. Like Jeremy said, there's the gift bag, which is a given for everybody, but then there's a chance to get the raffle and win other cool things on top of that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
I was just going to say we have this year enough raffle prizes so that every single person who's coming that we know of is going to walk away with a raffle prize. Everyone will win something.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One
of the things too, and again, I have to throw this out there. When we started this whole thing, it was this COVID project, and it turned into this really cool community. And I love the fact that I think that word's thrown around a lot in the industry, but it really has become this cool community of people that support DEC and come to DEC Day. But the thing about DEC Day is, in its original thought process when we put it together, is how can we have this be educational? And between the 4 of us, we decided when we started this thing, we had like 200 years of drumming experience between the 4 of us. And what I really like is that all 4 of us bring something different to the table education-wise, and something new every year. It's not the same every year. Everybody brings something new every year. And so not only do we get the prizes and stuff that are cool, but I truly believe that as an educational thing, it's you walk away with information, like a lot of information. How can I apply this to my drumming? How can I apply this to my career?
Well, David Betts is commenting. He's watching right now from the United Kingdom. And he said the community stretches as far as the UK. Thanks, David.
Nice.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Well, I think that's a big part of it. Like all of our students do this. They work and they practice, and even professional drummers, you kind of do it on your own. But the truth is that all your brothers and sisters are out there doing it just the same. And this is a chance for people to come together and have some fellowship and camaraderie and a hang. In addition to getting all this great stuff and educational content, you get to make some friends. And deepen your friendships. Right? Like, go ahead.
He's bringing a case to bring his Gretsch snare home with him.
He's bringing the case. Nice. You can put it out for tips. You can play on the street there, Fred.
That's
right.
He can start busking.
Yeah,
that's all well and good and everything. But the best part is your students always bring amazing baked goods and treats.
There's that.
That's the best part.
Let's be clear. The snacks are priority 1.
Yeah, there's always
number 1.
great cookies and snacks and
Yeah.
things to munch on.
yeah.
So.
Now, our friend
There's nothing
Fred,
like it, is there? No drum shows have cookies and snacks.
No way.
that's yeah, Rick, you're right.
Yeah.
No, I've never been to a drum clinic and or a drum show and there's free food. It just doesn't happen.
Never.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen. Does
And
not
good
happen.
free food.
And clearly most clinics you go to, often I see the drummers play and they're explaining something and they ask the crowd, do you get that? And everyone, oh yes, and they don't really get that.
Yeah.
You know, and then they don't have a handout of the printed music, and so I believe all of us have a handout, or at least we did last year. Here's something to take home with you and practice, and then we're all accessible too for a follow-up too. If you know,
one of the things I like about the way we all offer these clinics is that it really is sort of each one of them offers something for everyone. You know, I've been to a bunch of clinics where guys just shred, and like, you know, two people in the audience can take something away from that other than, wow, that was entertaining, you know. But this is all like stuff that you can use, you know, to quote our friend Rob Mintzner. Yeah, you know, when Rick gives a clinic, he breaks it down in detail. He has handouts, he has sheets, he talks about all different kinds of applications of what you can do, and it's like, oh, I learned something myself from watching you guys do your clinics.
Yeah, we're basically aiming at an event where 4 drummers are doing clinics. We're going to do some factory tour. There's going to be some good deals on Aquarian heads during the day. And we're all really aiming at speaking Drumanese with our people and having everybody go home with something to think about, to do, to practice, to improve their drumming world.
Yeah, what he said.
I do have a question for Rick.
yeah,
And I don't want you to give away anything in your clinic,
yes,
but I have to ask.
yes, I'll
You
give
mean-
it away. What is it?
Are you going to be bouncing a basketball again this year?
I'm bringing the basketball, but I'm not sure if that fits in with the theme of my clinic.
Dude,
so-
that was like when you did that last year, I
Yeah.
was like, why did I not think of that? That's
He's
the
going to be
coolest
dribbling
thing.
during
All
your clinic. He's going to be dribbling during your clinic. I hope that's not
But he's going to be
That's
bouncing.
it.
But he's
All
going to
right,
be bouncing
Bart,
it off your forehead.
That's it. Because I requested that Chip Ritter do some stick juggling while he solos, so I'll bring the basketball this year. That'll only take 2 minutes. Now, each of our clinics is about 40 minutes too, so that's
Yeah. And we are doing something different this year too, for everybody that's coming. What we've kind of tried to plan to do is we shortened our clinics a little bit, each one of us. And we're going to do like a Q&A at the end of it. So we're going to have like during my clinic, I always say this at the beginning of it, if you got a question for me while I'm going with this thing, just throw it out there and ask. But at the end of the thing, well, I don't know how we're going to do it yet, set up 4 chairs, whatever. But if people have questions, we're going to do a Q&A at the end. And I think that that's kind of fun because you can throw it at all 4 of us or individually or whatever. And, that's kind of different, I think. I don't know.
And if we don't get any questions during our Q&A, we have snacks.
Yeah.
That's true.
Again, there's cookies. There's cookies and a basketball you could dribble.
Yeah, we'll go full court basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
it.
So
we're gonna set it up kind of like a dating game scenario. So you'll be on one side, and then the 4 of us will be on the other, and you can ask questions like, "So, drummer number 3, what's your idea of a perfect rudiment?"
You ever see the Living Color skit when they did that? And the I think it was Jim Carrey, and they were all on the other side, and the girl that was Wanda.
oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Hey. And then
Yeah.
each one comes around the corner and they see her and they just jump out of their skin.
Well, that's what the grand prize is. We always say that it's with Chip, but this year we decided the grand prize is a dream date with Chris Brady.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, it's been Chip for years, but now it's a dream date with Chris
I'm
Brady.
tired. I'm worn out, man. I gave it up, and I think we're getting an upgrade. So there
Chris
we go.
Brady, tall, dark, and homely.
Well, maybe it could be a date with Chip Ritter and Chris Brady.
Oh, hey,
There you
hey!
go.
That
Now
sounds like a
look
date
out.
with destiny is what that sounds like.
What kind of specials can people expect from Aquarian Drumheads on deck?
Well, we do this every year. Basically, anybody that comes in and can be sort of artists for the day. So that's one of the perks of coming to the event and being your students. For that day, they get extra deep discount, special pricing, and access to all our products, or all that we have on hand in stock. And that's the special perk that we're giving, and they get that because they're part of your network, and that's one of the rewards they get for being your students and attending the event.
Cool.
That's so cool.
You
Chris,
said-
how many types of drum heads does Aquarian have?
I think there's like, I don't know, over 1,200 SKUs, and that doesn't mean 1,200 different types. I mean, you have a family and series, and in there, you're going to have clear coated with a dot, and each one of those is going to be 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So you conglomerate that all together, you get over 1,200 SKUs. But family wise, there's, I don't know, 12, 13. Classic clear, response to, performance to, the super kicks. But in those, there's all the different sizes, and that's where it kind of gets crazy.
Well,
So
this is a great opportunity for people to learn about drum heads.
Yeah.
Because in the clinic, Mike Bruker is going to be demoing all about Aquarian, all of the accessories, all the little mufflers and ways you can apply it, and answering questions about drum heads. So
yeah,
drum head education is a big deal.
He'll probably, just briefly, I'll just show this. He'll probably get into the hoop design, right?
Mhm.
And the other things that make us unique and different, and we like to think make us stand out maybe a little bit from the other brands on the market, especially that hoop design. I don't think a lot of people really understand that hoop design and really even pay attention to it until you point it out that it's an actual, most companies have, they just get flat aluminum and it's run through a roller. It's on a big spool and run through a roller at a high speed that forms it into a U shape. And there's nothing wrong with that. Roy and Ron, the previous owners, especially Roy coming from the big band era and calf heads, those were tucked around a rectangular wooden hoop, which appropriately was called the flesh hoop because they tucked the calf skin around it, wet it and dried it, and that's what held it in place. But that flesh hoop had a rectangular shape, and Roy carried that idea over, and we did it out of aluminum, but it's extruded. So it's a much more involved process. It's not just a spool running through. It's a chunk or billet of aluminum that's heated, pushed through a mold, an extrusion, a shape. Like think of Play-Doh when you put the Play-Doh in, and the shape comes out the other end. But as this aluminum is coming out the other end, there is literally a team of workers that that extrude the stuff for us they're gently pulling it through on a big table and bringing it along. So it's not just a quick one-man operation of a guy loading up a spool of aluminum, hitting the go button, and it's just feeding through and bending it. And, it's a process, but we think it's worth it because it provides a much more stable drum head. That Mylar sitting in the hoop, it locks it in. I mean, I've been here, this is my 30th year. And heads will break. That just happens. It happens with all of us. But I have never once ever seen a head completely pull out of the hoop.
Yeah.
Right.
That hasn't happened. Now, people will say that, oh, hey, the head pulled out. When I look at it, no, it's split. It did not pull out. So I've never once seen that in 30 years of a head, the whole thing just coming out in one chunk. That's never happened. And that's because of that hoop design.
Do you ever have any heads roll at Aquarian?
Only when Bart shows up. Because he's kind of a tyrant. I don't know if you guys know this. He's kind of like the Red Queen.
Yeah, it's a Game of Thrones kind of thing with Bart.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you, these heads on this kit, I put these on last year after deck day, and there's no dents. I swear somehow they sound even better a year later. I don't know how you
What are you
do
playing
that.
there? What are you playing on there, Rick?
I've got the modern vintage 2s on the toms, and I've got a modern vintage medium on the snare.
Nice.
And it's not a 2-ply head, but man, it sounds amazing, and it hasn't dented at all. And then up on the roto toms, everybody's favorite kind of drum, I've got the modern vintage medium, which
I think those are
just
Bart
look
and Jeremy's most favorites.
Absolutely, they love it. they love that ping. Oh yeah.
I have nothing against roto toms, and so what? I like the Game of Thrones. Who cares?
If you don't think rototoms aren't cool, go watch the footage on YouTube of Bozio and Missing Persons at the D.E.C festival.
Yeah, he had those
right.
the drape around it. Yeah,
the whole kit, and he's just like they do. You type in U.S. drag, it's in 6/4 and 4/4, and then the outro he solos over that. All on this rototom kit at the D.E.C festival, and he's just killing it. I often imagine like if you were another drummer and you saw, Missing Persons is going to be on Saturday or whatever day that was. If you were in another band, I would think if you were any kind of drum aficionado, you would say to yourself, I got to be standing on the side of the stage and watching Terry just tear it up.
Yeah.
I just envision every drummer just going, okay, Missing Persons, 12 o'clock. We are on the side of the stage, just watching Terry.
Dude, he did crush it at that gig. He really did. And hey, and rototoms, we can't knock rototoms. The whole 1984 record, Alex Van Halen.
There you go.
Those were all rototoms.
In Magnum PI when he's stalking the thief or the bad guy, and he's coming around the corner, and he goes. Doom, 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 doom.
Every show in the 70s and early 80s, every cop show, every time there was a suspense, you'd hear doom, 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 right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all rototom.
Somebody's about ready to get shot.
Nice.
There we go. Coming around the corner. Fred Fisher says,
Pink Floyd.
Fred Fisher says, I've never had an Aquarian head pull out of the hoop, and I've been using Aquarian since '98.
Awesome, Fred. He's coming, right, to the show?
He is coming, yeah.
From Boise, Fred
Hey,
Robley.
Fred, it'll be good for you to meet me.
Don't you know who I think I am?
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's really good to see you.
Everybody look out. Big time, big stuff coming through. Look out.
Fred said that he sold his rototoms to some dude in San Diego.
He's going to give him back to you at the show.
Dude, we haven't even done deck day yet, and me and Rick got some lumps already, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're just getting started.
Yeah,
We're just warm. It's just getting warmed up.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
just a Bart sticker made of Bart with the Queen of Hearts over it.
Hey, man, you know what? I want a patch, and I'm going to sew it on the back of a jean jacket.
Yeah.
I'm going to look like a Hell's Angel.
You're going to look like a Mongol.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Nice.
man. All I need is a Harley.
Well, this is how Jeremy and I have fun.
Yep.
And Chip, you're actually lucky. You sort of dodged the bullet.
I've come
on
out
these
unscathed so far,
Yeah.
So far.
except being invited on a date with you.
That's pretty fun. Hey, you know what? And we got to bring Fred into this. Fred, with the food thing, he's been talking about this pickled pizza
Oh, come
forever.
on.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Right? Okay. Jeremy and Chris, I'm with you on that. Like, the jury's out, but
Listen,
I gotta try it.
pineapple on pizza might be pushing it.
Yeah, no. No pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
No. That's no.
I'm half Italian on my mom's side, full Italian. That's not pizza.
Chris,
Yeah.
could you guys
I'm not
make a
saying I won't eat
drumhead?
it.
Could you make a pizza drumhead? It looks like pizza with some like maybe pepperoni.
Oh, that
Yeah.
would sell like hotcakes.
I mean, I get those drum heads sometimes, but it's usually from a guy that's playing marching sticks and tunes loosely, and it's just got like it looks like pepperoni dips all over.
Looks like the
Wow.
crater of the moon, right?
Yeah, right.
Wow.
You know what? Hey, that's another thing with Aquarian Drumheads. I think all four of us, you know, as teachers, all got pretty good technique. Every once in a while, though, you could, yeah, exactly. It's questionable, but every once in a while, you know, you'll hit a drum just right. You get a dent in there. I've never, like, I can't remember ever having an Aquarian head crater up on me. I can't. I mean, I'm sure it's happened.
It's not common. I mean, it can happen sometimes. You know, and this happens probably with all of us drumhead makers. You can get just funky batches of mylar. I mean, we don't make the mylar.
Right.
We purchase that in big bolts or big rolls of material, and then of course that can all be weather can affect that. If it gets really hot, if a guy or a drummer has his drums really angled, crazy, and the stick's coming, not hitting like this, but it's coming here.
Yeah.
And he's got the head tuned maybe a little looser, and it's warm, and it's a beaded stick. Well, it's gonna look like a golf ball.
I play backline kits a lot, you know, and 9 times out of 10, well, 8 times out of 10, they'll change. You'll get a kit with new heads on it. The heads will be in, you know, new heads or at least in good shape. But every once in a while, you'll show up to a backline kit and they haven't changed the heads in a while. And they're not an Aquarian head, let's say, and it's just like, what happened to this kit? You know, lots of dents, lots of craters. And again, I mean, just in my experience, I've never had one, you know.
Well, a lot of that could be playing technique. I remember Jimmy Keegan did some gig up in LA. I don't know if it was the Whiskey, whatever, one of those places, Roxy, Viper Room. And he had a brand new head on there, or it wasn't brand new, but anyway, Jimmy can play pretty hard. And there was an opener and asked, hey, can I use your stuff? And Jimmy said they only played like 3 or 4. It was a short set, you know, maybe half an hour. And he said he went up there and that snare head was all just dipped in and pockmarked out. He was like, what did you do? So a lot of it's just technique.
Yeah.
You know, you can hit hard, but if you're hitting hard and kind of pushing the stick into the head, it's going to crater out. If you're not letting the stick, you can hit hard, but if the stick's not being allowed to come back.
I always preferred the sound of pulling it out of the drum rather than smashing through.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's cool, you know, where guys will leave the stick on the head, but if you're hitting really hard and you're doing that, you can't be surprised that if the head dips out or it gets the little divots in it.
When you start playing into the drum like that, it just chokes it out so bad. And it chokes out the sticks too. If you're playing that hard, the sticks they're dead, you know, and it hurts your hands.
Well, all the shock is going right. You know, it's just
right.
It's like a cartoon. I mean, it has to get absorbed somewhere. It's going right up your arm.
Right.
That's a great question. I think we could all identify with. We could share what snare heads we're using. I'm on the Focus X train. How about you, Bart? What are you using?
You know what? Pretty much everything on the kit the last year has just been single ply coated, including the snare head single ply coated on the snare with the dot, and it sings and sings and sings. Every once in a while, I put a little sky gel on there, But yeah, I just let them sing out. That's what I like.
Just slip a little sky gel between your lip and gum.
Yeah, exactly. just a little bit. Yeah.
That's how he looks so young. He's got a face full of sky gel.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is if you walk around with your mouth open just a little bit and a fly or a gnat comes in, they stick to the sky gel. Dude, you get the flavor all day long.
Yeah.
You know,
Jeremy, maybe that's how we mute Bart. We just put a bunch of sky gel in his mouth.
I was going to say, it'll have that. Yeah, we won't be able to hear anything he has to say.
The gaffer tape.
Yeah.
That would be terrible.
What was the question? Snare heads. I use a texture coated 95% of the time. I have in the past used a Jack DeJohnette head on occasion too.
Those are great.
Yep.
I'm kind of with Chip. I don't play a lot, hardly ever, but anymore. But I prefer the Focus X because it still allows for sensitivity and a nice snap and pop, and it just takes out a little bit of twinge or twang that might be in there without making it sound super dampened or muted. It's a good, I like that head.
They're super durable, and because of the hooping system that you talked about, the hoop, you can crank it like a junkie without worrying about any of it pulling in any direction.
Yeah. Well, we have, Mike and I just did a drum, I don't know which one, event a couple months ago, and I brought some different heads in and some other heads on the market, and people don't really realize. I said, now flex this head, and you can put it in your hand and just, you can torque it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, and then they go, oh, okay. And then I said, okay, here's our head, roughly in the same type of model. Now try to flex it, and they're like, it won't bend at all. And then you see their eyes open. They go, oh wow. And I go, well, that translates in when you're trying to tune. It allows you to get more of an even tuning all the way around. I remember when I first started working here, I'd used Aquarian before because I worked at a store, and Roy had sent us all samples and stuff. But this is back when I think that it was crimped hoops. It wasn't the hoop that we have now. And but let's face it, most of us guys were raised on Remo. We all grew up playing Remo because that's really all there was. Mm-hmm. And so I was used to that kind of tensioning tuning. Just, you get used by feel. And I remember coming here, putting on some of the heads with this when they started using this hoop. And I was just going by sort of that feel. And where I thought was going to be a good tension, it was so tight. It was like a timbale. And I went, whoa. And what I realized is because of that hoop design, it actually takes less turns of the drum key to get it to where you want it to be.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones, it would just take more tweaking, cranking down. But with our heads, I've always found it doesn't need a whole lot of turns to get it where you want it generally.
I have observed that too, but I don't think I ever thought of it like that. But the other thing that I find with Aquarian heads is I find them just so much easier to tune. Like whenever I have to play a kit that is a backline kit with some other heads, I'm like, God, it feels like it's harder to get them to sound right.
Yeah, they are easier to tune.
There's a lot of the big factor in there is going to be that hoop. I mean, obviously, our Mylar plays into it. That the resin that we use during COVID, the company that we get our resin from, was no longer able to provide that specific mix, which was unique to us. They came up with a different combination that was even better. So you've got the resin that holds the head, the hoop design, the Mylar itself, the coating, all that stuff is a factor. But I think for me, the predominant reason is that hoop design is what aids in the quickness of tuning and maybe the ease of tuning.
The thing that I always reminds me of in this conversation is that old ad that Roy came up with years ago, take the tap test, and you'd take an Aquarian head, and I wish I had two to sample in here, but you tap an Aquarian head and then you tap, a Remo or Brand X, whatever, and they're super papery. When it's off the drum, just right out of the box, it crunch, 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 and you tap an Aquarian head, and it has a musical tone to it. It sings. It sounds great off of the drum. And I think that's important. Very important.
Chris, I have a question for you. I've had a lot of students bringing in these tuning devices, these little gadgets that register frequency and register pressure. And I haven't worked a lot with those, but I'll tune up a drum and tune it by years. Of course, I've been tuning for decades and get it sounding right, or I think it's sounding good. And then we'll apply that gadget to it and then change the head tuning based on what the gadget says. And suddenly it doesn't sound good anymore. And so do you have a take on these electronic tuning gadgets that are out there?
Not really. I've never personally used one, so I can't really speak on it. There's people that use them and understand how they're supposed to be used, and it works great for them. And if it does, more power to you if it makes it easier. I mean, I've always just done it by feel and by ear, and sometimes it's not perfect. Sometimes you get it where it sounds good to you, and you notice, oh, there's maybe a little wrinkle on one side. Well, who cares? The drum is sounding the way you want it to sound. I've never obsessed over that, but I've been lucky enough living here in LA-ish, that area, that I've got to see pretty much every amazing drummer, all of my heroes, all of them. I've seen them all. And I got to see them play up close, and I've watched how they tweaked in between its song or tuned up before. And and they probably do it like we all do it. And I've never even seen them get all fanatic about cross tuning. You can do all that stuff. There's no rules. But I've just seen them start tweaking a tension rod here and there, tapping, and then, tapping and tensioning and tweaking, and then going, there it is. Right. And they're done. I've never seen all this other. I mean, one thing I learned from Roy, he used to cross tune a little bit, but he didn't get too crazy with it either. One thing I did learn, I always thought I had my bottom head pretty tight, right?
Yeah.
And that was important. And one day I'm like, I just can't. And Roy's pushing on the bottom of his head, and he goes, no, it's not tight enough. I said, really? Because I always wondered how those guys got that sound. And he goes, no. From that era, that big band era, because their snares were always pretty responsive and snappy. Yeah. And he said, no, that's still loose and mushy. I said, you're kidding me, right? He goes, no, give it to me. And he really put a lot of tension on that bottom head. But all of a sudden the drum became way more responsive, and it had less of that honky kind of, like, you get, sometimes you hit the snare and you're like, gee, this thing sounds like a tom-tom with snare wires just taped to the bottom. Why? Yeah. And he said, that's because the bottom head is too loose. For general application, I mean, obviously, if you're going for the goosh, that's a different thing. But just an all-around good working thing, he was like, you need to really crank on that thing, get it tight. That was something I learned about tuning. But the electronic devices, I think they could be helpful. I don't know. I just know what I've done, and you guys probably all do that. You just a little bit here and there. Use your ear, maybe feel a little bit, maybe tap.
Yeah.
We got a comment from Brian Lovins that says, "Hey guys, have we talked about the super kick yet? Best bass drum head ever."
That head is a winner. Matter of fact, Dusty was here yesterday, Bart.
Oh, yeah.
Dusty, and we were talking about that.
Love me some Dusty. Good.
He's been an artist for a long, long time, and he said, I remember that he started talking about the super kick, and I said, wow, that's going way back. And Roy had given him a prototype. Hey, come here, try this out. And Dusty said, this is how I always want my bass drum to sound. This is amazing. And the interesting thing is, now I don't know the exact chronology history, but I do know the first iteration was not called super kick, or if it was, it wasn't quite how it is now, meaning really the first pre-muffled bass drum head we made was the Impact, which is the wider felt muffle.
Yep.
And everybody loved the concept. And I think it got out there with artists and stuff, people trying it out. They go, this is amazing. It's a little too much. It's too much. And they just narrowed that felt width down to about here as opposed to there. And then that was the sweet spot. Then they gave out samples and everybody said, this is it. So that became the Super Kick. And we still have the Impact, the wider one. And that's becoming more popular now because that sound is in. Everybody's playing with, you watch, I don't know your guys' thoughts on this, but that band, you can't go on social media without seeing them, from Canada, Quebec, Engine de Poitrine.
Yeah.
It's just a sheet over the drums. And people are putting sheets and towels. So that real thick, heavy, muffled bass drum thing is back in. So we've been selling more Impact. But yeah, the Super Kick with the regulator.
With the regulator. That's what I was just going to say. We encourage
that those are meant to work. That's a companion piece. It's a system. And they're meant to work in conjunction with each other. And the idea is, and there's no rules, but the idea is you have the batter Super Kick and the front regulator and nothing else in the bass drum.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how it's intended to be. Now, there are, like I said, there's no rules. So if you want to put a pillow in as well, or a towel touching both sides of the head, or you can do that. But technically, with all the versions that we offer, you should be able to achieve what you're looking for without having to put anything inside the drum.
That's the drum breeze. And two quick things. Number one, a minute ago, I mentioned backline kits. And a lot of times, most times they don't have Aquarian heads on them, but I would venture to say at least 75% of the time, a backline kit that has another brand of heads on the toms and snare will have a Super Kick. Not always the regulator, but they'll have the Super Kick.
You know what else is cool about that system? And again, you guys will probably confirm this. Growing up, we all, unless you're really rooted in the jazz scene genre, we grew up with a pillow in there shoved up. And at one point I was using before Aquarian Power Stroke, but I'd still put muffling in there. And then you only get one sound.
Yeah.
It's just kind of punchy. What I love about the Super Kick, if you use it the way we intend it to be, you can get that a little bit of an 808 woofy thing, so that if you play it off the head, and let's say you were playing a blues shuffle and quarter notes, and you want a little note down there. If you play off, the bass drum will go boom, 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 and you get a little, almost like a full quarter note.
Yeah.
Then if you want to play something funky, and you want punch, bury the beater. You can bury the beater, and all of a sudden that drum will go hit you. Yeah. And so you have some variation out of the drum, as opposed to when you just muffle it, you're just going to get, but you won't be able to get a sustain out of it.
Yep. That's always been my take on the Super Kick, is like, it's the perfect balance of attack and tone. You get a body of a sound, but you get the impact also.
I mean, you're playing jazz, probably out of the four of you guys, Jeremy, you're going to play jazz maybe more than the other three. And if you're playing something where you want to feather quarter notes underneath, Super Kick's great for that.
Yeah.
I actually, on my jazz kit, I have a modern vintage.
With the Super Kick ring?
Oh, yeah.
Or the felt strip?
The felt, what's on the felt strip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more traditional. But anyway, that system that's our best selling head by far. That's the head that people know us by, that they associate with us, is the Super Kick. This logo is supposed to represent the Super Kick head with the ring.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've been using I use a Super Kick, and then I use a sealed front head and nothing inside the kick drum. And I pretty much play beater out, and it's a lot of tone. It's a big 24-inch drum, and it's a lot of tone. It sounds amazing. And this is the other point I wanted to make too. I have this is a recording studio. I do a lot of tracks in here for people. And I had a song recently where they wanted an old 70s country style drum kit. So I did all this stuff to make it sound country. And I have I got a Black Beauty or something, and I put a 14-inch super kick as a batter head.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it was just, and it's exactly what the client wanted. Like, oh my God, that's perfect. They wanted it to sound like Waylon Jennings, and that nailed it. I mean, it just nailed it. So it's a cool head if you kind of also think outside of the box with things like that. It works very well. Yeah.
Fisher said that the Super Kick 2 was his gateway to using all Aquarian products. And then Brian Lovin says, totally agree, Chris. The Super Kick and regulator without any muffling is phenomenal.
It is. I encourage people to try if they've never tried that. It's a very, I mean, again, and you can achieve maybe an impact in a regulator or a Super Kick 10 in a regulator. You know, we make the regulator no hole, small offset hole, and then a larger hole in the center. So there's all kind of combinations to achieve a tone that doesn't require having to have anything else inside the drum.
Very cool. Well, guys, we're going to cut out like at 11:45 today because everybody's got some few things going on. We ran to 11:55. We are going to get out of here early today. If you don't have your tickets already and you want to come to Deck Day, drummersedcon.com. Go get your tickets. We'll see you this Saturday at Aquarian Drumheads from 12 to 5. Come be an artist for a day, hang out, have some cookies, and go into Chris's office and eat the candy off the desk.
Come say hi to me and Fred Rock Fisher.
Yeah, buddy.
Also,
gonna be there.
we're going to have a dunk tank outside, and Bart's going to be sitting in it most of the day. So.
I am.
You can take Rick's basketball and throw it against the dunk tank.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in the dunk tank until like, let's say 5 minutes before I have to play. Yeah, I want to be presentable and dry off, and I'll bring a bar of soap, so I'll be.
Oh, that's good.
I'll be.
No, you stay
fresh as a daisy.
Listen, you stay all wringing wet, and then we're going to give you that nice live mic to put right up there.
Yeah. Hey, hand me that blow dryer, would you? Make sure it's plugged in. All right, guys.
Well, we'll see you in a few days.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Looking forward to it.
Chris, thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everyone.
Rick, play some drums, baby.